In recent hours, Super Typhoon Regassa has left a trail of devastation across East Asia, striking Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Guangdong Province in mainland China with unprecedented force. Already considered the most powerful cyclone of the year, its passage has transformed entire cities and forced millions of people to face an unprecedented emergency. The magnitude of the storm was such that Hong Kong was activated at level 10, the highest alert level in the typhoon warning system. This forced the complete closure of the city, including airports, public transportation, schools, and businesses, plunging the city into a complete standstill as hurricane-force winds battered relentlessly. Taiwan was the first to experience the destructive power of the system. In Hian County, the accumulation of torrential rains triggered the collapse of a natural barrier lake formed by landslides. In a matter of minutes, millions of tons of water descended through the valleys, wiping out entire villages and leaving dozens of families stranded and without shelter. The bursting of this natural lake has become one of the most tragic episodes in Taiwan's recent history. At least 17 people have lost their lives, 17 more remain missing, and rescue teams are working tirelessly amidst mud and debris, searching for those who may still be trapped beneath the unstable ground. Survivors describe harrowing scenes. Entire families had to run to the mountains or climb onto the roofs of their homes to avoid being swept away by the current. Military helicopters managed to evacuate dozens of isolated residents, while authorities set up schools and community centers as makeshift shelters. Meanwhile, Hong Kong was bracing for a direct hit from Regassa. The city, famous for its urban density and vital role as a financial center, woke up to dark skies and incessant rain. The sea surged over the seawall, overwhelming coastal defenses and penetrating hotels, shopping centers, and homes near the port. Winds reached gusts of more than 160 kilometers per hour, enough to topple trees, uproot metal structures, and shatter windows in multiple buildings. Videos shared on social media showed waves breaking glass doors at a beachfront hotel, flooding the lobby and sweeping away those inside. The human toll in the city has been alarming. Nearly 90 people were injured, most by the impact of falling objects. Among the most dramatic cases was the rescue of a mother and her son who were swept out to sea. Although both were rescued, the child remains in critical condition. The logistical consequences have also been severe. Hong Kong International Airport suspended operations, causing one of the longest disruptions in its history. Trains, buses, and ferries were also out of service, leaving thousands of people stranded in different parts of the city, unable to return home. Images from the streets revealed a chaotic scene. Fallen trees blocking roads, twisted power poles, and partially submerged cars. In low-lying districts, playgrounds and avenues became lagoons as emergency crews tried to clear a path through the debris. As the storm moved westward, Guangdong became the new epicenter of the emergency. Chinese authorities deployed an unprecedented evacuation plan. Nearly 2 million people were moved from coastal areas to temporary shelters. The scale of the operation demonstrates the level of threat posed by the typhoon. The landfall occurred near Yangjiang, with winds still exceeding 170 kilometers per hour. Within hours, entire communities were underwater, rivers burst their banks, and roads became torrents, carrying vehicles and debris. Power grids could not withstand the typhoon's violence. Large areas of Guangdong suffered prolonged blackouts and communication outages, leaving thousands of families without communication. Repair crews were immediately deployed, although the extent of the damage made the work difficult. In rural areas, the damage has been equally devastating. Entire crops were destroyed by the rain and wind, and thousands of livestock were lost underwater. For many farmers, the storm represents the loss of their entire livelihood. Meanwhile, coastal cities faced a dangerous storm surge nearly 3 meters high, which threatened port infrastructure and entire neighborhoods. Fishing fleets hurriedly returned to port, and thousands of boats remained anchored in safe bays waiting for conditions to improve. In inland Guangdong, rains continued to fuel the overflowing of rivers and dams. Engineers are monitoring reservoirs already at critical levels, warning that further flooding could occur in the coming days if the rain continues. The health situation is also a cause for concern. With flooded homes and a lack of drinking water, there's a high risk of outbreaks of waterborne diseases. Medical teams have already been deployed to vaccinate the population and distribute basic supplies. The humanitarian effort in the region has required the mobilization of more than 38,000 rescuers, equipped with heavy machinery, amphibious vehicles, and emergency supplies. These teams are working tirelessly to clear roads, rescue trapped people, and ensure the distribution of aid. In Taiwan, reconstruction is a monumental task. Isolated mountain communities are still waiting for roads to reopen and receive aid, while engineers assess damage to collapsed bridges and destroyed structures. In Hong Kong, cleanup crews are working around the clock to restore a semblance of normalcy. Streets and avenues still need to be cleared of fallen trees and debris, while dozens of buildings remain under inspection due to the risk of collapse. Experts warn that the economic cost of this catastrophe will be in the multi-billion dollars. The shutdown of Hong Kong's airport and the closure of ports in Guangdong have disrupted vital trade routes for the global economy, affecting supply chains and international operations. The magnitude of the disaster has also left a deep psychological mark. Entire families have lost homes and livelihoods, and uncertainty about the immediate future prevails in the hardest-hit communities. In Taiwan, families who have lost loved ones face a painful period of grief while they wait for search teams to locate the missing amidst the mud and debris. The tragedy of the barrier lake has become a symbol of nature's destructive power. The situation in Hong Kong is no less dramatic. Although the city has shown resilience in the face of previous storms, the magnitude of Regassa has left deep scars that will require weeks, even months, to heal. In Guangdong, the return of evacuees to their homes underscores the magnitude of the loss. Many find homes destroyed or uninhabitable, with streets covered in mud and debris washed away by the current. Meteorologists have warned that although Regassa has weakened, its rain bands will continue to affect southern China for several more days, maintaining the risk of flooding and landslides.